Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Immigration Nation. My name is Nicole Whitaker. I'm an immigration lawyer based in Towson, Maryland, but I represent clients all over the United States. Tonight, I am answering your questions about immigration. So if you have a question, we're up on TikTok, we're up on YouTube, and we're on Facebook. Give us your question in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them as we go. Today was a consultation day, so I met with a lot of people today about their immigration cases. A lot of people just call me for a general immigration screening. They are undocumented in the US and they want to know what their options are to get a work permit and a green card in the US. Or maybe they have been in the US for a long time and their goal is to get a travel authorization or travel permit so that they can go home and see their loved ones, visit home again. So during these consultation days, I do everything I can to screen my clients for immigration benefits, knowing that their goal is to get a work permit, to be able to better provide for their family, create a family legacy, or whether it is to be able to get that travel authorization to go visit home. So if you are interested in a consultation with me, you can send us a private message or you can give us a call at 410-207-9272 to schedule your consultation directly with me. Again, my name is immigration lawyer Nicole Whitaker. I represent clients all over the country. All of my consultations right now are either over the phone or by video chat, just like this. We send you a link, you jump on the video chat, and you do your consult with me face to face. But for now, I am answering questions live. So if you have a question, add it in the chat box or in the comment box below. One of the questions I get all the time is, I'm married to a US citizen. How can my spouse, my US citizen or permanent resident, husband or wife, petition for my green card? Or how can I get a work permit because my spouse is a resident or US citizen? A lot of people think that if you are married to a US citizen, you can automatically get a work permit, a green card, or US citizenship, but that's not the case. The process to get legal status depends on how you entered the US, your immigration history, and your criminal history. And it might also depend on your family's financial status, whether your spouse can be a financial sponsor for you, or if you have someone else who can be a joint sponsor with them. So it's a lot more complicated than you might think. And if you have a spouse who's a green card holder or a US citizen, schedule a consultation to see what your options are depending on your specific immigration history. But for now, I'm going to talk about one way in particular that I help people get their green card or their work permit and their travel authorization without their spouse's help. A lot of my clients find themselves married to someone with status because they fall in love, they get married. Well, a lot of marriages don't work out. There might be mental health issues. Maybe there are issues with drugs or alcoholism. Maybe there are other underlying issues. And you find that you're not married to the person you thought you were marrying, and they won't help you with your immigration case. In some cases, my clients are threatened by their spouse. They say, if you don't do this for me, I'm going to report you to immigration. If you don't give me money, I'm going to call and get you deported. You are nothing in the United States without me. You need me for your immigration case. And if you don't do what I tell you, I'm not going to file your immigration case. Or if you have already filed, they'll say, I'm not going with you to the interview. Or maybe they're always making excuses for why they can't file for you. If any of that is happening in your relationship, there might be a way that you can get a work permit, a travel authorization, and possibly a green card on your own without your spouse's help. It doesn't matter how you entered the US. It doesn't matter if you entered the US illegally. It doesn't matter if you entered with a visa but you overstayed your visa. It doesn't matter even if you've had deportations or you didn't go to immigration court and there's a removal order against you. It doesn't matter if you've had DUIs or traffic offenses, driving without a license. You are still eligible for legal immigration status if you are married to a US citizen or green card holder that is refusing to help you get your status or always making excuses for why they can't start, or if they're in some other way mistreating you, harming you, threatening you. If it's a toxic relationship, you could be eligible for a green card on your own without their help. So if you are in a situation like this, give us a call at 410-207-9272 to schedule your consultation directly with me. A lot of people are worried about filing this kind of application because they don't want their spouse to get in trouble, or they don't want their spouse to find out that they have this petition filed. And what you should know is that this type of petition is typically held confidentially with the Immigration Service. It's between you and immigration. Your spouse does not have to find out that you have this petition pending. Your spouse, nobody's going to call your spouse or interview your spouse. It's just between you and immigration. A lot of people think that you need to have police reports or restraining orders to be eligible for this type of case, but that's not true also. There is technically no requirement there was physical violence in the relationship. The mistreatment might have been financial or control. The mistreatment or control might have been financial, emotional, psychological, sexual. So there's no requirement that you have a police report or anything like that. When you call my office and you have your consultation with me, all I need is your honest testimony about what happened during your relationship. Again, this is a way to get your work permit, maybe a travel authorization, maybe a green card without your spouse's help, without your spouse even knowing you have this petition pending. It doesn't matter if you entered the US illegally or with a visa and you overstayed. It doesn't matter if you have a deportation order, DUIs, driving without a license. And important to know is you can apply whether you are married to and still living with your spouse, married to but legally separated from your spouse, or even if you divorced your spouse within the past 2 years, you're eligible to apply. So if you're divorced from your spouse, but you had these issues with your spouse where they tried to control you during the relationship, or where they mistreated you, threatened you, give us a call, because you may still be eligible to get a green card on your own without your spouse's help. Even if you're separated, even if to for is 10-9272. Let's answer a question. So Des Beth asks how to apply for staying in the US for 20 years. So how do you apply for a work permit, travel authorization, green card when you've lived in the US for 20 years? So I'm probably not going to be able to give you all the potential possibilities that I screen people for during a consultation. But basically, you're asking, what are my options? I've lived in the United States for 20 years. I've paid my taxes. I don't have criminal history. Maybe you have spouse, kids in the US. What am I going to screen you for as your lawyer? So, like I said, I won't be able to give you all the possibilities because that normally takes, several minutes in a consultation for me to go through your whole immigration history, your criminal history, and ask you all these screening questions. But let me give you a few examples. So one example, like we talked about, is if you have a spouse, a husband or wife, who's a green card holder or US citizen, you might have a way to get a work permit, or even a green card through your spouse. Um, there are, like I said, a couple different ways. Maybe you're eligible inside the US. Maybe there's a way you can get one if you are eligible for the perdón to leave the US, get your waiver, and come back to the US. Maybe you're even eligible to get your green card on your own without your spouse's help, without your spouse's knowledge. Another way someone might get a green card is if they have been the victim of a serious crime in the US. The government does not want immigrants to be afraid of calling the police and reporting crimes. So they created the U visa program, which is what helps people who've been the victim of serious crimes, usually violent crimes that were reported to the police. If you help the police with their investigation, answer any questions they ask, may be eligible through that. But it's a and eventually card. It doesn't matter if the police did find and the suspect didn't get convicted at trial. It doesn't matter. All that matters is the crime was reported to the police and you assisted the police or maybe the prosecution in everything that they asked for. So we have potential ways to immigrate through your spouse, potential ways to immigrate through being the victim of a serious crime. Similar to that is the T visa program for people who have been victims of forced labor in the US. A lot of times, employers take advantage of undocumented immigrants in the US. They might keep you working out of fear because they physically try to intimidate you and your coworkers, or maybe psychologically they threaten to report you to the police or immigration or have you deported.
Or maybe they threaten to harm your reputation in the community, tell everyone about you and how bad your work is. So all of these things might keep you working somewhere where you would normally quit if your employer was not threatening you or harming you or making you feel afraid to leave. So if you were ever in a situation like that, you may be eligible for a T visa. It does not matter how long ago that happened, even if it happened many years ago, you could still be eligible for a green card through that program. So if that applies to you, give us a call at 410-207-9272 to schedule your consultation with me. Another thought is if you have a U.S. citizen child over 21 who could petition for you, if you have entered the U.S. with legal status, like with a visa, your U.S. citizen son or daughter who's over 21 years old can petition for you. If you have a son or daughter or a spouse, a husband or wife in the military, either the active duty or the reserves, any of our branches of military, Marines, Navy, Coast Guard, Army, Air Force, your family member might be able to get you a Okay, I think I have a bad connection for a minute. So if you have a family member who's a member of the military in the US, they might be able to help you get a green card too, or at least a work permit. It depends on your immigration history. So Abdes asks, where are you located? So my office is located in Towson, Maryland, but I represent clients all over the country. So if you have an immigration case, we can help you. The number is 410-207-9272 to call to schedule your consultation. All our consultations are virtual, so you can either give us a call, give me a call, talk directly to me over the phone, or we can do a video chat where you talk to me just like this over video chat. I ask you all about your immigration history, your criminal history, perhaps family you have in the US, and all of your experiences that you've to make sure that you're eligible to get your green card to come to the US. So thank you guys all for your time. I'm going to end our live now, but keep sending us your questions, keep sending us those private messages, and give us a call to schedule your consultation with me today. Bye, guys.